Hello guys, now I am going to show how to reshape and merge data in Python. Sometimes we may have data in this kind of format, like this is a panel data, but country panel data usually what should have, like if it is a country panel, like country in the first, then the time, the second column, then in the next column headings, there will be the series or variables. But here what happens? Country is in the first column, then series in the second column, then time, like year, is column headings now. So we need to reshape it. Usually this kind of data available when you go like, if you go world development indicators, like write world development indicators, then you'll find the link and there you can choose, for example, country, like I choose all countries, all countries. Then you can choose the series. Series means variables or indicators. Uh, so series, all series will be too much. So I just select one or two, maybe three randomly I have chosen. Then you have to choose the time. Time again I choose all year. So these are yearly data. Now I give apply changes. I click. Then basically data will come. I don't know, somehow data data is showing for only one country, but basically all country has been selected. When you download, probably data will show for all the country, whatever. But the main issue is in the world development indicators, data is showing here in this format. When you download in Excel format, like if you go download option, then you can choose Excel or CSV option. Then data will come like year will come in the column, the column heading, and variables series will come in the columns in one column, and then country will come another column. So what exactly I showed you in this Excel file, the data will come in this format. But as I said, the panel data should be like that. Country will be in the first column, and year will be second column, and then series will be in as the column heading. Because to do any panel data regression or any kind of regression analysis, you need to get the data in that format. So how to convert or how to reshape the data in that format, that is I will show in Python. So you know that Python is mostly used in Jupyter Notebook, where you need to download Anaconda and you need to install Jupyter Notebook. So that is a long process, and for every packages or libraries, you need to install them. But there is an easy way to use Python. For what? You don't need to install anything. You just go to Google, like Google, write Google Colab. When you write Google Colab, then it will come like several link, Google Collaboratory or Google Colab, whatever. You can click here also. Um, when you click here, then it will come this, it will show with this window where you can choose new notebook, or if you have already existing notebook you have already created before. If you write new notebook, then a new page will open where you can write your Python code. In this place you can give a new name. It will come initially untitled, 1, 2, or 3. If it is totally new, it will be untitled. If it is second time you make new, then it will come untitled 1, then third time untitled 2, like that way. You can change the name, or you can upload, open. So for example, if you make a notebook like that way with this name here, whatever ABC name I gave you, I gave. But when you work on it and click it save button, then it will be saved in Google Drive. So basically, to use Google Colab, you need to have a Gmail account. So Gmail address. When you go Gmail address, basically every Gmail address coming with a um, Google Drive. To use this, um, to use this Google Collaboratory, what you need to do, you need to upload the data in Google Colab. For example, how to upload? Click Drive, then into the Drive, like File Upload. If you click File Upload, then basically you can bring any data in this folder, in this file, or any subfolder from your local drive in the computer. So my data is already in one folder I have brought already. So once you do that, then you can use Google Colab. What I said, to use to write any Python code here, you can do either here and save it if you are the first time you are doing, or if you have the existing file, then you can click Open Notebook. Every notebook is saved basically in this way in the Google Colab. Sorry, in this Google Drive. So in this Google Drive, there is a folder called Colab Notebooks. All notebooks will be saved here. But if you go download option and download ipy.ipynb, then basically that file, that notebook file, can be saved into your local drive. So then basically, if it is bringing from the local drive, then you need to upload the notebook. If you want to bring any notebook, existing notebook from the local drive, then you have to click upload the notebook. Then here is upload option is selected. Then basically choose file. When you give choose file, then basically see this is .ipy and there is a file, and that will be if I select it and open it, then it will be open. So once you open from the local drive, then it will be available in Google Drive. So I have already one file like that, which is like this one I have made. So first of all, when you want to reshape the data, first of all, you have to import the data in Google Colab. Sorry, in this file .ipynb file notebook. So to import the data from Google Drive, you need to do first of all mounting. You need to connect basically the Google Drive and this notebook. So for that, you need to run these two lines first. So so for the running the every cell, you can select here or Control plus Enter. So select this. That is called from google.colab import drive. So that means now drive has been connected with this Google Colab. And then you need mounting. After this command, like drive dot mount, then dot /content /drive, and inverted comma, then bracket. So basically, this command, these two lines should be same for everybody. Okay, whenever you use Google Colab and whenever you want to bring the data from Google Drive. So these two lines should be exactly same. There is no difference. So once you run this second line, what will it happen? It will ask you connect to Google Drive. So that means it is establishing connection to Google Drive. Then select it. Then it will ask your email address. You choose it. Then basically you have to select allow. So these steps should be followed. This is same for everybody. Well, wherever your email address is, but you have to choose your specific email address. That is the only difference. But The steps are same. Steps are same, and these two lines should be written exactly as same. Then now what will happen? Then you can see that if you click here, the file, then select the drive. And in the drive, then inside the My Drive, inside the folder, and inside the subfolder data, I have put my data. That is my data name is sum WDS means all development indicators dot XLSX format. Then from here, click copy path. Copy path. If you click copy path, then basically the data file path will come. The path is, if I write path should be written inside this inverted comma. All it is there, but I show again. So it is inverted comma within the bracket inverted comma / content / drive. I mean, in your case, the path can be different. It depends on where you saved your Excel file. Maybe you can directly save into the drive folder. So then basically it will happen only / content / drive, then the file name, this one directly. But if you have further subfolder and subfolder, then depending on subfolder, then the path will differ. Otherwise, whatever the path you can bring from that way, the selecting these three dot after the data file, as I show you, copy path. That's the option. So okay, so once path is determined, so you know that to import the data, you need pandas in Python. If you have some sort of ideas about Python, so that needs import pandas as PD. As PD is basically this part is optional. People do that to make it short, you know. Otherwise, you have to write every time pandas in later pages. For example, when you import the data in Python, you need to write this kind of command pd dot read underscore Excel. So this part is a part of command, and pd here it is the shorter version of pandas. If you don't write that part as pd, then instead of pd here you have to write whole word pandas, pandas, this word. Okay, so so this command is basically bringing the data here, but this command, what you need the path you have selected. So this one, sorry, this path. So just you write the path. If you don't want this line, this separate path line, this line, then instead of path, you have to put the whole thing instead of path option here. Instead of path option, if you don't write path, you have to copy here. Then this second part, data, this is about the worksheet name. For example, in my Excel file, data is my worksheet. I have more sheet 1, sheet 2, series, metadata, but data is available in my data sheet, DATA. So that's why you have to define the sheet name. If it is sheet 1, you have to write sheet 1. So as path is already defined before, so I don't need to write the whole path here. So just write path. Means whatever name you give here, that is you have to write. Okay. If you write copy path, if you write data path, then you have to write data path here. What word you write here? The same thing you have to write here, and that is case sensitive. So so I need to import these pandas first. Remember, in Jupyter Notebook, you have to install pandas before importing. And how to import? Like it is like pip install pandas. If you install that, then you can import. But in Google Colab, you don't need to install. You don't need to install. Most used packages or libraries are available in Google Colab, or most popular you can say. I can delete the cell. So it is already installed here, and you just need to run this, run the cell. It is when any cell is run, then you can see there is a tick mark, the green color tick mark, small tick mark. Okay, then I need to run this cell path. Then I need to run this one to import the data. This command line is very important. Again, to run this line, you need to run this number 3 line and number 4 line. So now this line will bring the data, but to see the data, you can directly write whatever data frame name you have given here. This is the data frame name you have given. Okay, this is the data frame name given here for the Python. Whatever name you give here, if you write there, then if you run the cell, data will come. So data has come exactly what you have said in the Excel format, country name first, series name second, then here is a column heading. But there are many missing values, no data, like no data coming as a nan format. Like here, if you see Afghanistan, cells are missing, no data is there, no data are there. So that means these are missing. In the case of missing cell, Python put them as a nan. Now you see the data, but Python will not show the whole data file. Some rows it is showing, I think first 10 rows and second 10 rows, probably or first 5 rows, second 5 rows, like that is showing. You can also put like print WDI, then it will also show this data first 5 rows, I think. Or you can also select the number of rows, how many rows data you want. Whole data point it will not show. Okay, in the data you have seen some end rows. They're totally blank, no data available, all are nan. In this case, if you want, you can drop those rows. So how to drop? First, select those rows number by index wise. So this index call basically it is numbered with rows. So 0 means first row, 1 means second row. These are called index. So like that way, I have selected from 1085 to 1089. These rows I have selected. So I've said pause 1085 to 1089, comma. Then WDI means data frame name. Dot drop. Drop is a part of command. And again WDI is data frame name dot index, because these are index. Index inside the third bracket it is pause position. That means these index numbers. Then comma implies true. True means it will run. So I mean this selected rows will be dropped. So then if you select that, if you run this cell, then those rows has been dropped. Now how can you check? Then check the WDIs again, what change it made. Now if you go, the WDIs has come again, the data is showing again, but now you will see that that last rows has been dropped. Okay, there is no rows, those kind of rows where all data were missing. Now we have to reshape the data. That is our first task. As I said, the country comes first, then year, then series will come as a heading, column heading. But that will not be the case in first step. So we need to follow the two steps. First, we need to convert the data like that way, like country will come as it is, then series will come as it is, but then year will come as another column, and under the every year column, the values will come in this format. So in that way, data will be very long, because for say Afghanistan, there are say 5 series, and for every series there is, but for every year that 5 series will come. So there is a more than 40 years. So for every series, so 5 times 40, like 200. So 200 rows for one country will be generated. So like if there are more than 200 countries, so how many rows you can think? So there are 66,185 rows now. Okay, how many rows it has now? It is showing at the end of the data frame. So how we have achieved this shape? This is also reshaping. The reshape needs, like I gave you the new data frame name. WDI is long. I call it longer version of the data, a long shape. Whatever name you can put, it is up to you. This is the new data frame name, and here you need to give the first of all PD. Again, the reshaping command is worked under the pandas package. So that's why you need pandas PD, as I said, as PD. So as I made it brief, so that's why you have to write it PD. Or if you don't break it as PD is removed, then you have to write pandas the whole word. So whatever PD dot meld. So this is the part of the command PD dot meld. Then you have to write the previous, the original data frame name WDI after dropping the last 5 rows. So that WDI will be here. That ID verse. That ID verse also part of command. Okay, ID underscore verse. It's a part of command. Inside the ID verse equal the bracket, then double inverted comma. You have to write the country. The first country is my first ID. The series is my second ID. Now series is considered as an ID. So there are two ID variables. Then what variable name I'll give to the rest of the columns, like year 1960 to 2020 or something. So that is called var name. The var underscore name, it is also part of the command line. Okay, that should be unique for everybody. Then inside that, whatever name you give, that will come in this column heading. You can give, instead of year, you can give time. Whatever name you give, it will come here. Okay, then value name. Value name is under this, the columns, the year columns. The value will come under this heading, like var heading. So here value underscore name, it is also part of command, and var, it is the name you give, that will come here. So whatever name you give, instead of var, you can give values also. Whatever your name you give, that will come in this last column heading. So okay, after running this, then data will be reshaped, and if you now want to see that, you can see the data has come in this format. Now you need to reshape the data further to get it our desired format. What is the desired format? That is our desired format, the panel data format. Like country is coming as the first column. This country is one ID, then year is another ID you can consider. So now year has come into the second column. Then series now has come as the column heading, and under the series the values are there. Cells, every cells contain the data value, which are the series value of series. I mean value of variables. How did you achieve these things? So you have achieved these things by this command. So again, we give another data frame name, which I gave WDS wide, because previous one is very long. Now I made it wide because now number of rows will not be as many as before, because now in the year, so like there are 60 or 40 years. So now that means every country will have 40 years of series. So if there are 200 countries and year is 40, then basically 200 times 40. So that means 8,000, like 8,000 rows will be there, something like that. So in our case, it is around how many years? So it is around 13,000, 237 rows, which is smaller than before. Before it was 64,000 something. Okay, so in this case, it is, so now we are reshaping the previous data, which was WDI long data frame name is WDI long. Now instead of pd.meld, it is writing as dot pivot. Dot pivot, part of the command, the index, Here index is country, comma, year. Two IDs. They are called now index. Then column, which column you are converting to the as a column heading. So before series was just in one column. Series was just in one column. Now here you are making series as a different column heading. And inside the values, what will be the values? The variable is values will be the var, what we defined before. This thing, okay? This var. So be careful about these commands. Putting this your specific variable is very important. Otherwise, the command may not run. So if I run it, the command has been executed. Now, if you want to see this data frame wdh underscore wide, then we write it in another cell and click it, run it, then data will come. Okay, so data will come. Remember, always data in the data. If you define as an index any variable, that variable index under index variable, the column heading will come in that way, and other columns will be slightly upper, not in the same line. So in that format, in this format, you cannot run any regression. The regression will not allow this kind of data. So you need to reset the index. Basically, you need to remove them as an index. So all data, all the column heading will be in the same line. Also, the series name is very long. For the regression analysis, you cannot make this as a long. You need to make it in a shorter way. So I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, to do the regression analysis, you might need to drop all the missing values, or maybe specific column, then missing values, depending on your research idea or research your variable selection. How do you do? But for example, if you want to select drop all the rows wherever there is any none, any missing data. So how to do? That is basically you need to import the NumPy package. NumPy is basically doing all kind of mathematical kind of job in Python. So NumPy and Pandas, there are two important packages in Python. So again, if you import NumPy, you don't need to install it in Google Colab, which is the good point. So Google Colab doesn't require any installment. Even you don't need to install any Python or anything. Just directly go Google. You just need a Google account. That's the only thing. So import NumPy as NP. Again, if you don't put as NP, then every time wherever you call and use NumPy, you have to write the whole word NumPy. So from NumPy import nan as in na. So from NumPy you are importing specific package nan, and we call it as na. Again, as every time as part you can remove it. Then if you remove, then you have to use the whole word like nan. So what I did in the commands, so this is our command line after importing all the relevant packages. This is wds underscore wide underscore drop na. So I gave another data frame name after dropping all the missing values. So I got a new data. So that's why I give a new data frame name. That is my name. So any name you can give, it's up to you. Whatever name you give, I just to understand, I just gave wds wide. So in the wide data file, I dropped missing values. So that's why I gave this name. So our original data was previous data was wdi underscore wide. So from the data we will drop missing values. So that's why the command name is dot drop na. So this is the command line here. Dot drop na is a part of command. Other things, these are data frame. Whatever you name, that is up to you. This is the new data frame, and that is just the previous data frame name. So after doing that, dropping the missing values, then see the data, new data frame, drop na, then run it, and you will see that there is no missing values in the data. But what happened? Before it was 13,237 rows. Now after dropping many rows because of missing dropping, now it is just 831 rows. So there are some variables had plenty of missing. Some variables, like in the case of Afghanistan, some series has no data, like GDP per capita. Afghanistan has no data for many years. For many years, it has data from only 2022. So basically, when you drop the missing value, then it has dropped any data before 2021. Before 2000, sorry, before 2002, from 2001 to all rows or all data, it will be dropped. So not for only the this specific case, other rows will also be, other columns will also be deleted. That's why it is drastically reduced. So now next part is after drop NA, what we do, we are basically bringing all the column heading into the one line. As I said, if you have these in the different line and these are country and year as an index, if you keep it country and year as an index, you will not be able to do any regression analysis. So that's why what you need to do. So I give new data frame name. So there are plenty of data frame. New data frame name, because in the previous data frame after dropping NA, which is WDS underscore wide underscore drop NA, inside the every column heading, I mean series heading, basically series name, GDP per capita, the big name, constant 2015 US dollar. So all column, rest of the column heading, I put them into the inverted comma, and after this comma, inverted comma, then another for another one, give this comma, then in the another series with inverted comma. So like that way, all the addresses are there. Then at the end, I just said dot reset index. Okay, dot reset index and within the bracket. So that if you do that, dot reset index is a part of the command. You have to put that. When you do that, just also remember there is a two bracket, that is also should be remembered. If you put one bracket, that then in that case you need to put double inverted comma, I think. So if you run that, the index will be removed. I think re-index will be happen. Country and year will not be indexed. Then this series, the new name will be an index. The index will come here 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now see all columns, all series are in the same line compared to the previous one. Previously it was here. There's a gap. Country are in this way, and there is no index, no 0, 1, 2 index, because country and year was the index, because in this command line we declared that index is country and year. Remember, in every data frame in Python, the Python makes an index. If there is no index, then it makes 0, 1, 2, 3, like that way. So okay, after removing the index, now another issue is to rename the column. Rename the column. If you want to rename in a specific column, you have to use this. You have to use this command, which is like you want to rename the column in the data frame, which is df1 wdi. That is our data frame. The data frame name is, I gave df1 underscore wdi. So dot rename is a part of the command. Then inside the after that there will be bracket, and inside the bracket it is column equal second bracket, then inverted comma old column name. So like old column name means, so you want to remove, you want to rename just only one single column, like GDP per capita bracket constant 2015 US dollar bracket. So the whole things you will write in the old name part. Then you'll give a new name. New name is up to you, whatever new name you give. So this way, if you want to rename another column, then another old name variable inside the inverted comma, double inverted comma, then double dot, then make new name. So that way you can change any specific column name by this command. But for example, if you want to rename all the columns in order, so then you just write the new names in order within this column, within this command. So what I did here, df1 underscore wdi means the previous data frame name, and dot column, I just put all the new column heading in an order. So I don't need to do any old name, all are the new name. So sometimes new name also can be the old name. So country and year, they are as before. Country and year as before. Okay. but GDP per capita constant 2015 US dollar within the bracket, which I write just simply GDP underscore per capita. Life expectancy, next one, life expectancy at birth, comma, total years, which is a long name. I just put it only life expectancy. So that way, I just rename them with a shorter word, credit, private, mortality, income. So if I run this line, again, remember when you want to rename the all columns, then just use this command with the all new names only, but with an order. So then a new name has come. If you want to see that this data again, if you want to see after new name what happened, then basically you can see that. You will see GDP per capita, all shorter version, new name what I gave here, GDP per capita, life expectancy, then literacy, then credit underscore private, mortality underscore infant. So this has been done. So basically now we have got the this world development indicators data exactly in panel data format, exactly our desired format. So that is the reshaping done. So that is the reshaping. But again, the dropping missing values or dropping a specific column depends on your research design. It depends on how you want to get the data. But the procedures are this to get the panel data format, reshaping procedure. So then I will show you how to merge in Python. So for merging, I am calling another data. I am importing another data that is called, I call it COVID data from Microsoft Azure. So in Microsoft Azure, these are the free way to get the data. So there is a link, web link to get that Python data. It is available in Microsoft Azure. But to import the data again, you need pandas, import pandas as PD. Though it was already imported this package, I don't need to do again if you import before. However, to show you again, if you import that, that is not a problem. So import pandas, then you need to define path as before, as it is. So the path of the data here, it is the web path. Okay. For that, you don't need to mounting the Google Drive with Google Colab. So it is just an external link. If it is coming from the external link, just path is okay. Then the another part is same. So df underscore COVID is a data frame name I gave, and pd dot read parquet. In this case, so to import specific kind of data, you need to define just underscore read. The word will be different. So for example, if you want to import the CSV format data, then you need to write pd.read underscore CSV. If you want to import strata kind of data, then you need to write pd.read underscore DTA. So like that way it will be changed. You can see it in Google or anywhere that because of data format, the word will be changed only here. So parquet of this kind of word will be there because of this data version. This data is coming from Hadoop, I think, because of Hadoop. So Hadoop has this kind of version of data dot parquet. So whatever inside that there should be a path. Here there is no any worksheet name because there is not the Excel kind of data. Even CSV doesn't have any worksheet. So in the case of CSV also there is no need of to define any worksheet. Okay. So whatever. So this is the command line for the importing data, and the to see the data. That is another way of writing, as I said before, the data frame name dot head dot 10. That means first 10 rows that will be shown. But if you drop that part, that is also okay. That will also show the data, maybe first 5 rows, last 5 rows that way. But for specific rows, then you have to define that way. It means first 10 rows. If you put another maybe tail probably, then it will show last 10 rows. Okay. So that COVID data has come. The COVID data, this is also country level data. country level data and daily basis case, case by case. So country is here shown at the end, last column, I think. Country, region. Okay, country, region. I think to see the list of the columns in the data, you need to scroll that thing. So country region is here. That is also country plus region also available there. This data is about daily data, daily COVID cases, COVID death. Like these are the updated means these are the days. So 2020 January means 01 in January and 21. And this means the date January 21, 2022. These are IDs. IDs means specific case, specific case. So confirmed case um, 262. Specific case, not a specific case, specific date data. So that's why it is just given ID. So number of confirmed COVID cases are 262. Changes nothing. Death 0. Death change nothing. So that is first day of data for a specific region worldwide maybe. But that every country's data is also available. Whatever, in this case, reshaping is not necessary because data is already reshaped and it is already in panel format. You don't need to reshape, but you might need collapsing. In Stata, it is called collapsing, means taking some average or daily summation of the COVID cases. So for example, 266 people got COVID. Then you want to, if you want to say yearly data, so all daily in a year should be summed, should be summed to get the aggregate number. So that you can do. Um, but for that, what you have to do, first of all, you have to define a year variable because now dates are in a daily format. So you need to do, you need to make an year variable. How to do the year variable? Like you need to make an year. Let's say at the end, I generated a year variable which was not available before. Year variable because now it is a daily. In the daily defined case, there are year also available. There are two things to scroll. See, in the updated, year is also available 2020, but date also available on the 01 hash and 21. So I just need a year only thing because I want to make summation of all the cases by year. So how did I define that year at the end? So that is the command name, which is df underscore COVID. Df underscore COVID means our data frame name. And within the bracket, I made year, the new name. Because I have in Python to generate a new column or new variable, that is the way. So you have to put the data frame, and inside the data frame, you need to give the new variable or new column name. So then, and how do I do that? I did pd dot date time index. Okay, date time index. This is the part of the command. Then data frame name. That within the bracket I put updated. So this is the updated column. And this updated column and then dot year. So this date variable I have converted to a new variable name called year. So based on the updated. So the updated all daily thing will be removed, just year will be kept. Year will be kept. And that is basically this command date time index make this job. This is the thing under PD. Under pandas package, this is the function which make this job basically. So when you do that, then you can see the data because df COVID underscore COVID within the same cell is selected. You can put it in the different cell, doesn't matter. So as I said, to make a new cell is not a big deal. Under any cell, you just you put your cursor in the middle and you can put code. If you select text, then you can write this kind of text instead of code. Okay. So now the next step is I want to make summarize or add all the cases like death, case, recovery by year. So now data will be converted only into a year because all daily cases has summed. So how to sum? So this data you already look like the data. So now year only there. First of all, country region, Afghanistan, Albania, Zambia. Then year is there only. Second column is here and confirmed cases, deaths and recovered. So I just kept three key columns. I removed all other unnecessary columns. So what I did here, so I gave a new data frame named df underscore covid1, then df underscore covid dot group by. Group by means it is the part of the command which making this summation thing. So what I did, I said group by, this is my ID. This ID wise it will be grouped or it will be summed. So my country region and year will be here as an index. Then three variable only I can select here. Confirmed deaths recovered will be summed by this country region and year. So this is the way of writing the command. You might find it very complex, not that complex. Df, the previous data frame, then dot group by, then within that group dot group by, you just put the IDs. By what IDs you want to make this summation, which is country and year. And then next thing, so here it is second bracket, third bracket, and the first bracket. And then it is double second bracket here, double second bracket, sorry, um, third bracket there. And then within that, you are just choosing your specific columns, what columns you want basically to make them their average. So then dot sum, which is important part. If you want to mean, if you want to make them their average, so instead of sum, you have to put mean. But as our goal is to make them average, sorry, summation, then we put SUM sum only. Okay, then after that, if you want to view the new data frame on df underscore covid1, then you can see it, which is like that, as you have already seen because I ran them before. Now again, resetting index is necessary because these three columns, last three columns are a little bit up, and country, region, and year are the index now. We have to change them, not any index. So again, dot reset index is the command, the part of the command line, which is basically a new data frame and the previous data frame, df underscore covid1. Then within this bracket, we need to put the columns and other two index will not be there. So if we make them reset index, and then all thing will come into the same line. So this is important part. This command is very important. So then again, renaming the country, we can, because we want to now merge. So merge by what? Merge by WDI, means the World of Indicators data has also country and year. Now the COVID data has also country and year, but both data should have exactly same country name, country heading, country. Here in the COVID data, it was country region. So if it is, this is also case sensitive. Exactly same name should be there. So same ID name should be in both data files so that we can merge together. Okay. So that's why in this COVID data, we put country region to country. So C is the capital here. At exactly it was also same in World of Indicators data. So that is very necessary. As I said, you can change, you can rename a specific column by that way. So old name and the new name. New name. So new name is here, country. Okay. So that is basically new data frame name, previous data frame, dot rename, and then bracket columns dot which column you want. So this is the old column name and this is the new column name, and second bracket and the first bracket. So then you will see the change. If you run this whole cell, uh, is not defined. The df covid2 is not defined. Okay, df covid underscore 2 is not defined. Oh, because I did not run this cell. Okay, so there is a tick mark. Now if I run this cell, then it will run. Okay, now it will run. So renaming the country, the data looks like that, and then our job is to merge. That is our main goal. So to merge with say WDH data. So what was that last WDH data? The DF1 WDH. Okay, DF1 WDH. After the reshaping, DF1 WDH was our last data frame name. So that is you need to write DF1 underscore WDI. So that is our world development indicators data, and we need to merge it with COVID data. So what is our last data frame of the COVID after indexing and changing the country? So DF underscore COVID-3, DF underscore COVID-3. Remember, after the all reshaping and all reindexing, after all done, whatever the data frame is final, the final version of the data, that two data you should be used. So in the world development indicators case, this is the final data frame name, and COVID case, this is the final COVID data frame name. So this is the way of merging here. Very simple. WDIs, the data frame in the world development indicators, dot merge. So dot merge is a part of the command. Then another data frame which is in the bracket. Now what is the issue? We need to, I think if you make it very simple, then that is also okay. In this case, merge did not happen. What is the reason? Because the years, so for example, in the COVID data, the years are only three. That these are 2020, 2021, and 2022. But in the world development indicators data, there is no years like that because the end year is I think 2029 probably. Sorry, 2019. So that's why there is no matching year, in the 2.5. There's no matching here. You can also look at here, like by this command, value index, like tab command in Stata, which is df underscore COVID-3, and within the bracket, if you put year column and the dot value underscore counts, then it will count how many years data is there. So 2020 in 2035 cases, 35 countries, and 2021, 2034 countries, 2022. So that means dates or year are from 2020 to 2023. But if you see the same thing in df underscore WDI's data, sorry, WDIs. If you see the same thing, then basically the data is the max, I think 2018, 2018. Sorry, 2019. Here, though it did not come in order. So 2019 is the highest. Basically, there is no matching dates, matching year. That's why it did not show anything, any data here. After merging, there is no matching. So now to see the merging properly, what we did, I did further collapsing into the world development, both data. What the collapsing we did, both data file, we just removed no year. What we did, we just taking the mean of the year. So yearly mean, like a pooling the data. So yearly mean. So the year data has been removed now, just averages of the yearly values. So that's why, for example, in the COVID cases, I give new data frame name COVID, and the previous data frame name was DF underscore COVID-3. And group by is a similar kind of command we did before for making summation of the daily data. So here it is, country is the index now, country only, and the column is are the confirmed deaths and recovered, what you have seen here, last three columns. Then dot mean, now it is dot mean, and dot reset index. You can make this as a separate line. Dot reset index, you can make it as a separate line, but within the same line, I did average Also plus resetting the index means I put the all last three columns into the same column line. Because otherwise country would be the only the index. So when you put dot reset index, the data will come into this format, into this shape. So df underscore COVID form now, this is the format. So now these are all yearly average. Yearly average. So now year has been dropped because there is no yearly. So year-wise data. Similarly, we took average of WDIs, I mean world development indicators data by that way. Again, we could do that dot reset index here, but without dot reset index, then data will come that way. Country will be as an index, and then to make it re-indexing, you need to put dot reset underscore index. Here I did separately, but yeah, it will look like now that I have to run them. So this one yearly average by putting mean here, and then run this. Okay, see this command again. It is similar, group by. So you can search in Google how to merge. I'm sorry, collapse in with a group by option. Dot group by. Then you can find. Then two data files should be merged. Now I show the proper merging. So now this is my after the collapsing. I mean yearly average. So that is the data file name df underscore COVID 4. Then dot merge. Then the world development indicators data file, which is df3 underscore WDI. Now it is proper merging means how you want to merge the data. So what ID, sorry, how means how you want to merge. Merging can be done severally, like when you make inner option, how equal to inner option, that means exactly those who are matching, like country and year in two data file, those rows will be merged side by side, you know, those rows. For example, in the COVID data, Afghanistan has data and but in COVID data, but there is no data for Afghanistan in the world development indicators. Then if you make inner, then Afghanistan will be dropped for the margin. So, but as Afghanistan has the data in COVID, also data for like in the world development indicators for GDP per capita life expectancy. Then in the March, it will remain. It will remain. So inner means that if you make left means in the COVID cases, if data is available in Afghanistan, that will come. But in the WDS case, data is missing for GDP per capita, life expectancy, literacy. Then basically, in the merging Afghanistan country will come, but in this column, GDP per capita will show missing, life expectancy will show missing, literacy will show missing. All data in the WDS will show missing for Afghanistan. If you will put that right, like I can show you. Um, no, I think in this case Afghanistan has the data, so that's why I cannot show that way. But that is the explanation. If you put right, that means WDI, if WDI has the data of the GDP per capita life expectancy, then after the right option here instead of inner, then the GDP per capita life expectancy literacy will show the data. But if COVID-19, so if COVID data has no value confirmed as recovered for the Afghanistan, then these will show as missing. So that is the left-right scenario. But if you put inner means if both data set has the data for Afghanistan, then Afghanistan will come. Otherwise, it will not come. So inner option is needed because for regression analysis, if you want to use the data from the both data file, then basically inner is the option to get the exactly matched data. So on country means, but by what ID you need to merge? That is the country. Okay. On country means this is our ID. By that we want to merge. So then run this. So now it is merged. So see before there are more rows, 147 rows here, and the COVID cases it was more. COVID data was 246 rows. That means 246 countries. But after merging, even 147 countries in the WDI did not remain, which is 133. Okay, 133 only. So that means some countries are available in COVID, but they are not available in World Health Indicator. So that's why they are removed. And some even may happen that some countries are available in both data, but might be their name is not same. If their name is not same, that is also the case that data will identify that the ID name is different. So then that country will be removed from the margin. So how to check that the country name is differently named or same? So this is the command you can check, like COVID underscore for COVID, sorry, DF underscore COVID for, that means COVID data after collapsing. And then within the bracket, you can choose the specific column name, which is country, and dot unique. If you put this thing and run this command, you can see the all country name in this column, how they are written. Say, for example, in specific case, I choose a country like Iran. Okay, Iran. Iran. So Iran is written like that way, IRAN within the comma. Okay, Iran. But if you see the WDH data, the world COVID data has many countries. If we see the WDH data, so DF3 underscore WDH within the bracket country and dot unique. If you run that, then here if you find Iran, here there are less number of countries. Here Iran is written Iran, comma Islamic Republic dot Islamic Rep dot. So that is written as a full name, a bigger name than previous. So that means two IDs in different data file are not same according to Python. Python will indicate identify they are two different way of writing. So even they are case sensitive. If one file written, say one is capital letter, another file written in the small letter, again the ID will considered as a different ID. So country name should be exactly same writing in both files. Otherwise, after the merge, that country will be removed. So now what is our duty? We have to either we have to change the country name in the WDIS file, or we have to change the country name in COVID file, COVID data file. So here I just put it simpler. I made the name in WDIS file because WDIS file country name is longer, Iran, comma Islamic Rep dot. I want to change it. So what I did here, as you saw that how to rename, how to rename the specific, before you saw that how to rename the column heading, but now we are seeing that how to rename the specific cell or a specific case of a variable, which is like WDF underscore WDI, what is the data frame name. This is not new, it is the previous data frame name. The dot rename and equal index, because country is in index. When it is a variable, then it is not possible to change like that simpler way. Then that is a very complex. You have to put all the country name, then you can change. So here I have used the df to underscore WDH. That means when the country was an index format. So that is not the previous. Sorry, I said previous. It is not previous. It is basically df2 means df2 means this one, df2 underscore WDH, where country was an index because other column was just up, one step up of country. So country was an index here. When it is index, it will show like that. But df3, in the df3 WDI, here country is not indexed. So that's why when you put index, then it is easy to rename the country name. That's why I used df2. So df2 WDI is rename index. It is now index. Country has an index, so you don't need to put the name. Index. So inside the index, Iran, comma Islamic Rep. This is the old name within the comma dot dot. Then it will be new name Iran. Okay, and then comma in place true. Then if you run this, then after that, then you put reindexing, so that country is not indexed anymore.
and I give new data frame name, which is df4. So that's it. You do. Now you are getting Iran as a just simple Iran, not Iran dot comma Islamic Rep is not there. You can check it. This line is not needed. df4 underscore wdi is country dot unique to check the country name. So now you can see that Iran is just now simple now. Before it was Iran, comma, Islamic, rep, dot. Now it is just simple Iran. So it is now exactly same as in COVID data. Now, if you merge two data files with the same command line, but data frame is COVID cases, it is not DF. Data frame in COVID is same, but data frame name in OWDs has been changed. Now it is DF4. Before it was DF3. Now it is DF4 underscore WDIs. Sorry, before it was DF1 or something, whatever. So now it is DF4 after this renaming the country, but command is same, inner and ID is country. Then if you run that, now you'll see that one more rows will be added. Now it is 134 rows in the data because Iran has now come into the margin because Iran has matched in both data files. Exactly, Iran. But before, as Iran was dropped because Iran has two names in two data files. So before, after merging, there was only 33 countries, 133. See here, after merging, it was 133. Now one country more, and it becomes 134 rows. So by that way, you can rename if you say any mismatch of the name into data file, specifically country name. I can, in many cases, from many sources, like if you collect some data from like World Health Organization, you will see that the country name is written slightly different. Right? Some countries like United Kingdom. So one data file may write the United Kingdom, another file can write only United Kingdom, another data file may write only the UK. So three name is possible. So if you have three name in three different data file, definitely you have to make in one name. Either UK make in all three, or United Kingdom all three, or the United Kingdom into the all three. Otherwise, in merge, you will lose the country. That's the issue here. So by that way, you can rename any other countries if you see any mismatch. So that is the merging. I think that's all. I hope this video will help you to merge and reshape. So if you make any change, again, all changes are saved. It is automatically show. It is saved automatically. However, to make it further sure, you can save it as like here, and it will be saved. And if you want to download again into your local folder and download, then choose your local folder, then it will be there. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.